Welcome everyone to a new episode of In Depth with Academia. I'm your host, Richard Price, CEO of Academia EDU, and today I've got a very rich, experiential, and maybe even a little bit poetic paper to unpack for you, so settle in. As always, I'm not promoting or endorsing the paper, just walking you neutrally through what it says and what it might mean for you. Our focus today is on Christoph Eberhard's paper titled Cheminer sur la voie, or in English, Walking the Path. This isn't your classic scientific treatise or empirical study. Eberhard is really sharing a personal, philosophical exploration that speaks deeply about journey, learning, and transformation. And if you've ever felt lost, or like you're stumbling off the beaten track, well, this one's for you. Let's start with the core question. What does it mean to walk the path? In life, in practice, in any discipline? Why does it so often start in uncertainty, even obscurity, and why is that significant? Eberhard dives straight into the messy reality of searching for meaning, not just in martial arts like Tai Chi Chuan or Qigong, but honestly in any authentic pursuit he describes, sometimes with a storybook quality. Setting out on a quest with very little clue what he's actually searching for. You're scared, unsure, maybe a little cocky, thinking you'll do it all by yourself. But as you move forward, you trip, you get lost. Then you start noticing other people, some who might know the forest better than you. Throughout the paper, Eberhard brings in personal anecdotes from his time training in China. He's not just talking about techniques or philosophy, he's recounting real moments, group practices that look chaotic, masters who seem to teach by not teaching, even stories where he spends weeks punching the air while his classmates whirl ahead. To Eberhard, and maybe to us, these moments raise a basic question. Is progress supposed to look this fragmented, this indirect? Can being lost actually be part of the journey? What's fascinating is how the paper turns a critical eye on our usual craving for quick progress and clear rules. Eberhard suggests that much of real learning is not about following a straight, efficient line. Modern approaches, with their focus on breaking things into components and mastering each part, run counter to the holistic, interconnected wisdom of traditions like Taoism. Here's where it gets practical for you, the listener. Instead of obsessing over assembling perfect pieces, what if you let yourself be changed by the whole process, even if at first you have only confusion to show for it? A really striking insight is how Eberhard contrasts the so-called external and internal ways of learning. The external approach, the one we're maybe most familiar with in school or Western sports, is about nailing the visible details, getting it right from outside. The internal path, drawn from traditions like Tai Chi Chuan, is about unifying the body, energy, and mind from the inside out. The process becomes less about achieving an external result and more about transformation and harmony, which honestly feels valuable, even if a little mysterious. I have to admit, there's a part where he talks about calligraphy, and I suddenly remembered my own handwriting from childhood. It's basically unreadable, and no master would want to teach me that art. But the point is, how we approach any discipline can echo these themes. Sorry, digressing a bit. Back to Eberhard, a key takeaway is just how essential patience, trust, and openness are. Sometimes a master's job isn't to give you steps 1 through 50, but to point you to the first door and see if you actually want to cross the threshold. For Eberhard, this revelation came only after slogging through the basics, feeling ignored, feeling lost, but also gradually realizing that transformation happens at a different pace for everyone. And then there's this lovely point about community. Even though the quest often starts feeling solitary, I can do this myself. Real learning emerges in dialogue and shared struggles. The journey opens up, we connect with others, sometimes by accident, sometimes by grace. Eberhard closes with an invitation. Rather than rush toward efficiency or perfection, maybe the point of walking the path is to taste and savor each experience, each movement, each encounter, to let yourself be rounded, softened, opened. That applies whether you're practicing Tai Chi, learning a craft, or just, well, trying to make sense of your own confusing life. So what does this mean for you today, tomorrow, in your own context? Maybe it's permission to slow down, to let yourself be transformed, not just informed. Maybe it's a reminder that truth in academic research or in life isn't absolute, but a set of insights we can try, reflect on, and grow with. Thanks for joining me for this episode of In Depth with Academia. Remember, this is just one voice among many, one path among countless others. I hope Eberhard's reflections help illuminate your way, at least a little. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep savouring the path, even when you have no idea where it leads. See you soon.